In a world constantly filled with noise about what it means to stand out, be noticed, and be heard, it's easy to overlook the profound strength found in silence. The ancient Stoics had it figured out long before us. They understood the quiet kind of strength that stillness holds. A strength so powerful, it pulls people toward you without a single word ever needing to be spoken. Picture yourself entering a room, and without effort, you become the center of attention. Not because you're the loudest or the most extravagant, but because the energy you carry is deeply captivating. It's as if you're saying everything that needs to be said, without speaking at all. And this isn't just a romantic notion from legends or old philosophy. This is something real, something attainable. Today, we're taking a deeper look into the essence of silent attraction, led by the timeless wisdom of Stoicism. Because this goes far beyond just making an impression, it's about leaving one that feels as natural as your breath. So if you've ever felt invisible in a world that won't stop shouting, this is your moment. A chance to let your silence speak louder than all the noise around you. Let's unlock the secrets to drawing attention without effort by embracing the ancient art of Stoic allure. If you're finding value in the journey we're about to embark on, exploring silence and wisdom, do me a small, completely free favor. Tap that subscribe button. And if you've ever felt a little different from the rest, know this. This message was meant specifically for you. So don't miss a second. You're the exception we've all been waiting for. How many times do we hide our thoughts, silence our interests, or shift our opinions just to blend in? We've all done it. But Stoicism gently nudges us back to the authentic road. It reminds us that the most magnetic trait we have is our authenticity. When you live in truth with yourself, you're in tune with your nature, and that harmony speaks loudly to the world around you. It sends out a clear signal. This is me, real, raw, and unapologetically true. And that level of honesty, it's deeply magnetic. So let's break it down further. Being yourself means embracing your quirks, your passions, even your vulnerabilities. It means standing tall in your values, even when the world tries to pull you in every other direction. It's about finding peace in your own skin, recognizing that your truest expression is your strongest asset. Remember, the Stoics placed virtue above all else: wisdom, courage, justice, and temperance. Living in alignment with these values, letting your moral compass guide you, makes you not only attractive in the eyes of others, but also brings you closer to peace within. So how do you start tapping into the power of simply being you? It starts with self-reflection. Take time to explore your values, your passions, and your boundaries. Think about what lights you up inside, what fuels your soul, and how your actions can reflect that inner spark. Then, take the courageous step of expressing that truth outwardly. This isn't about chasing perfection or winning everyone over. It's about being real. It's about showing up each day with consistency, with your words, your choices, and your presence fully aligned with who you are. Marcus Aurelius, the Stoic emperor, once said, "Waste no more time arguing what a good man should be. Be one." And in our case, replace man with person, and the message still holds its power. Don't spend your days analyzing what makes someone likable or magnetic. Live your truth. Walk your virtues. Let your authenticity shine. Because that's the real power of being you. And in a world that often rewards fitting in, remember, your authenticity is your superpower. It's what makes you silently compelling, drawing people to you in the most natural, unforgettable way. The way we show up in the world speaks volumes, even when we say nothing. Our presence tells a story. And Stoicism? It doesn't ask us to reject appearance or give up on expression. It simply guides us toward intention in how we live and how we present ourselves. That includes our style. Stoicism teaches the beauty of authenticity and simplicity, reminding us to focus on what truly matters. Style, from a Stoic lens, isn't about rejecting fashion or being minimal to a fault. It's about choosing clothing that resonates with your identity, pieces that reflect your values, your personality, and the roles you embody in life. It's about making intentional choices that align with your core, not just mindlessly chasing every passing trend. Think about how you feel when you wear something that feels right, something that doesn't just look good but feels like you. There's confidence in that, comfort, maybe even a little invincibility, because when your external appearance mirrors your internal truth, your authenticity shines louder. You don't stand out because you're loud, but because your sense of self is undeniable. But style isn't just about clothes. It's your whole aesthetic, from your haircut to the accessories that feel like extensions of who you are. Each choice is a brushstroke in the canvas of your personal expression. Stoicism urges us to make these decisions consciously, to ensure they add substance, not just noise. So how do we bring Stoic wisdom into our style? Start by asking yourself, what does each item in my wardrobe say about me? Does it reflect my values? Does it mirror who I am or who I strive to be? The goal isn't to impress, it's to express, and your expression should be genuine and grounded. Keep in mind, your style will evolve as you grow, and that's perfectly fine. The key is staying true to yourself through that evolution, letting your external self shift alongside your internal journey. It's remarkable how much we communicate without ever opening our mouths, from posture to gestures. Even how we move. Across a room, we're always sending signals. At its heart, Stoicism teaches awareness and control, not just mentally but physically too. Because what we show externally reflects what we feel internally. When we talk about body language through a Stoic lens, it's not about forcing gestures or faking confidence. It's about alignment, letting your outer movements match your inner truth. It's about integrity, a unity between what you feel and what you show. Take something as basic as posture. It's not just about appearing confident. It's a physical act of self-respect and dignity, qualities that Stoicism holds in the highest regard. When you stand upright, shoulders back, head high, you're not just projecting confidence to the world. You're affirming it to yourself, and that naturally attracts others. It creates a sense of trust and openness. But it doesn't stop at posture. The warmth in your smile, the genuineness in your eye contact, these silent cues have immense power. A sincere smile can melt even the coldest guard. True eye contact can create a connection as deep as any spoken word. Stoicism asks us to stay present and mindful, and that applies just as much to our physical expressions. To be truly present means to be aware of how we engage physically with others, to ensure our body language reflects how we truly feel, whether it's empathy, openness, or simple attentiveness. Our nonverbal communication should come from a place of sincerity. That kind of mindful presence fosters genuine connection. Relationships built on authenticity, trust, and respect. So how do we use Stoic wisdom to master body language? Start with self-awareness. Observe your own nonverbal habits. Are you truly present during conversations or unintentionally closed off? Are your gestures welcoming or subtly distancing? Practice showing up fully. Engage intentionally, not reactively. Let your body communicate from an honest, grounded place. And now, think about scent, something often overlooked yet incredibly powerful in how others perceive and remember us. A single fragrance can spark a memory, stir emotion, or shape an entire impression. But it's more than just choosing cologne or perfume. It's about picking a scent that becomes part of your identity, a fragrance that speaks without saying a word. Stoicism reminds us to be intentional in all things, and that includes fragrance. Rather than chasing trends or expensive brands, select a scent that reflects who you are and how you want to be remembered. A signature scent is not just an accessory. It's a statement. A subtle but strong way of expressing your uniqueness. Much like how Stoics believe actions and words should reflect virtue, a thoughtful fragrance does the same for your presence. It becomes your olfactory fingerprint, a scent that softly declares, "This is me." Choosing the right fragrance means being mindful, understanding what scents speak to you, how they interact with your body chemistry, your lifestyle, and your intention. Do you want to embody calm reliability? Perhaps go for something clean and fresh. Or do you want to be remembered as bold and daring? Then try something spiced or woody. The key is consistency, making sure your scent aligns with your personality and values. Just like living in harmony with your true nature, as the Stoics teach. And don't forget the Stoic lesson of moderation. It's not about overwhelming the room. It's about inviting people in, letting your presence linger subtly, leaving an impression that whispers, not shouts. Just like our actions, it's the quiet ones that often leave the deepest mark. And in this digital age, where real connection often feels diluted, manners can bridge the gap back to authenticity. But when we speak of mesmerizing manners, we're not talking about just please and thank you. We're exploring how the grace in how we treat others can leave lasting impact, much like the enduring wisdom of Stoicism itself. In every interaction we have, consider how impactful it can be to genuinely listen, to be fully present with someone as they speak, without the distraction of our phones or wandering thoughts. This kind of attentive presence, a foundational practice in Stoicism, sends a clear message that we value the moment and the person we're sharing it with. It's a simple act, but one that holds deep significance in a world that's so often disconnected. Stoicism also places importance on empathy, truly understanding and feeling with others. When we bring genuine empathy into our manners, offering a hand, a kind word, a moment of support, we're embodying Stoic values in ways that are relatable and human. These small acts of compassion not only make us more approachable, they draw people in, creating a magnetic sense of warmth and genuine connection. But let's also touch on the more nuanced aspects of manners, understanding how to move through social spaces with grace and awareness. From how we conduct ourselves at the dinner table to how we hold conversation, these details speak to a level of mindfulness and respect for the setting and people around us. Stoicism doesn't tell us to retreat from the world. It calls us to engage thoughtfully with it, and refining these social skills is a reflection of that engagement. It shows we care enough to be intentional, to honor the unspoken rules that allow deeper, more meaningful connections to form. Be fully present isn't just advice. It's a powerful call to action. It's an antidote to the surface-level exchanges that have become the norm in today's fast-paced world. And surprisingly, it ties in beautifully with Stoic philosophy, which reminds us to live in the now and value the moment for exactly what it is. Stoicism teaches us to focus on what's within our control and release what isn't. Applied to our conversations and interactions, this means offering undivided attention, free of past regrets or future worries. It's about showing up with a presence that says, "You matter, and right now, there's nowhere else I'd rather be." This kind of undistracted attention is rare, and it has the power to transform even casual exchanges into something lasting. Being present isn't only about being there physically, it demands mental and emotional engagement too. It's the difference between someone half listening while scrolling their phone and someone who's truly tuned into you, making you feel acknowledged and understood. That kind of presence lingers. It leaves people feeling seen, and that's incredibly attractive. But how do we build this kind of presence in a world that's constantly pulling us away from the moment? It begins with mindfulness, the practice of being aware of your thoughts, surroundings, and feelings without judgment. With mindfulness, We can notice when our attention drifts and gently return to the here and now. Like any skill, it improves with steady practice and patience. Stoicism also encourages us to see the beauty in the now, to cherish each interaction, however brief, as a chance to connect, learn, and grow. When we meet the world with that mindset, we not only enrich our own lives, but leave an impact on the lives of others as well. Being present also invites vulnerability, allowing ourselves to be seen and to truly see others. It means dropping the masks, setting aside the personas, and engaging from a human place. Because at our core, what we all long for is understanding and connection. And that vulnerability, as intimidating as it may feel, holds great strength. It dismantles walls and builds trust, laying the groundwork for deeper relationships. It's also a reminder of one of Stoicism's simplest yet most profound lessons. Sometimes less really is more. This idea of restraint, of choosing when and how to share, is central to Stoic wisdom. It's not about secrecy or deception, but about intention. Choosing what we reveal about ourselves and when creates intrigue. It invites curiosity. There's a quiet magnetism in being selective with your story, in letting people unfold the layers over time. Stoicism, with its emphasis on self-awareness and inner growth, reminds us to build depth over display, to develop character over seeking approval. This philosophy pairs beautifully with cultivating a sense of mystery. By not revealing everything, at once we invite deeper engagement. We signal that there's more beneath the surface, and people feel drawn to discover it. It's not about playing games or hiding behind a mask. It's about letting your complexity reveal itself at its own pace. Think about it. Would you rather read a book that gives away the entire plot on page 1, or one that draws you in slowly, chapter by chapter, revealing its depth over time? It's the same with human connection. A little mystery turns a simple interaction into something richer, a story people want to keep reading. So how do we find that balance? It starts with intention, being mindful about what you share and why you share it. Are you speaking from a place of connection or simply trying to fill a silence? Stoicism champions self-control, and that includes controlling the impulse to overshare. It also encourages us to value quality over quantity in our relationships. Deeper connections are built through mutual discovery, through respect for one another's depth. When we embrace a touch of mystery, it's also a way of honoring our inner world. Some thoughts, dreams, and experiences are sacred, and sharing them selectively makes them even more meaningful when we do. It's not about holding back. It's about knowing what's worth revealing and when. And when that kind of sharing finally happens, it lands with greater weight and authenticity. By practicing this Stoic form of mystery, we also learn to listen more. When we stop feeling the need to constantly speak, we make space to hear others, to truly engage with their stories, their essence. This creates a back-and-forth rhythm, a dance of genuine curiosity, where both sides walk away feeling understood and enriched. And cultivating that kind of interaction, it starts by expanding our lens, by broadening our view of the world around us. This isn't about simply knowing facts or trivia, but about deeply understanding the cultures, perspectives, and values that shape people's lives. It's about becoming globally aware, guided by the Stoic pursuit of wisdom. Stoicism urges us to grow beyond our limited experience, to look outward, to learn from others, and to recognize the humanity we all share. When we cultivate cultural wisdom, we step into another's shoes. We explore the beauty and complexity of the human tapestry. In doing so, we don't just become more knowledgeable, we become more empathetic. Now imagine how much richness that brings to your conversations. When you can share a story from another culture, when you can speak a phrase in another language. You're building bridges. You're communicating that you see others, that you respect them, and that diversity isn't just a buzzword to you. It's a lived value. You don't have to be a world traveler or a walking encyclopedia to do this. It's about being curious, being open, being eager to learn from the vast array of human experience. And once again, this ties right back to Stoicism, which champions self-growth and learning. When we expose ourselves to new perspectives, we challenge our assumptions, we face our own biases, and we grow in empathy. That's how we become more complete, more compassionate, more capable of meaningful engagement with the world. So how do we start this process of cultural wisdom? Begin with small, intentional steps. Read books written by voices from across the globe. Watch films that show you lives unlike your own. Listen to music and art that speak a different cultural language. Seek out conversations that stretch your thinking, that take you out of the familiar. Each encounter adds depth. Each story becomes another layer to your perspective, and through that process, you gain a greater ability to connect. But cultural wisdom also includes compassion. Not just feeling sympathy, but truly understanding someone else's experience. Feeling their pain, celebrating their joy, and meeting them on an emotional level. Compassion is the bridge that connects us heart to heart, helping us recognize the humanity we all share. And within the Stoic tradition, compassion has a rightful place. It reflects the virtues of empathy, community, and unity. Stoicism calls us to look beyond ourselves, to care not only for our close circle, but for the world at large. It's a call to action, to not only feel for others, but to do something about it. When we bring compassion into our daily interactions, we do more than sympathize. We give a part of ourselves, our time, our focus, our care. This act of giving, of stepping outside of ourselves to ease someone else's burden, is one of the most quietly powerful and attractive traits a person can have. It draws others in. It builds warmth and depth in our connections that simply can't be faked. But make no mistake, compassion isn't always easy. It means sitting with discomfort. It means holding space for someone else's pain without rushing to fix or explain it away. It asks us to listen first, to understand before we respond. And while that can be tough, it's also profoundly rewarding. Because when we open our hearts to others, we not only lift their burdens, we grow as human beings. We gain insight, depth, and wisdom that can't be found in books. Compassion also reminds us that we're not alone, that even in a disconnected world, we belong to something bigger. And in that shared sense of humanity, we find what we're often searching for: real, lasting connection. Genuine care for others builds a foundation for deep bonds, the kind that rise above surface-level exchanges. And let's not forget, to be truly compassionate, we must be willing to feel. That means allowing ourselves to be touched, to be vulnerable enough to feel someone else's sorrow as if it were our own. It might sound like a weakness, but in reality, it's one of the greatest strengths we can embody, because when we dare to open our hearts, we bring something into the world that's deeply needed and undeniably magnetic. It shows we're willing to set aside our egos in favor of connection that's raw, honest, and deeply human. This kind of realness is magnetic. It draws people to us in ways that shallow interactions never could. We've all heard that laughter is the best medicine. While it might not heal every wound, it certainly has the power to shift the energy in a room and lift the spirits of those within it. Laughter's contagious nature and its ability to lighten even the heaviest hearts make it something truly magical. At first, laughter and Stoicism might appear to be unlikely allies. But at its heart, Stoicism is about living well. finding joy in the moment and forming meaningful bonds with others. And these are things laughter makes possible. The Stoics valued joy. They understood that life shouldn't always be so heavy. That laughter has its place, as a tool of resilience, a response to the absurdity and hardships we all face. Shared laughter reminds us that, despite our differences, we all carry the same capacity for joy. In fact, laughter perfectly captures the Stoic idea of staying present. In moments of real laughter, we're fully here, letting go of the past, and ignoring the future. It's a kind of mindfulness, a celebration of the now. When we laugh, we're not just escaping life's burdens temporarily. We're practicing acceptance. We're embracing the good where we can find it, even if the rest feels out of our hands. And laughter connects us. It dissolves barriers, builds bridges. When we share humor, we open up, we relate, we become more human together. This reflects the Stoic value of community, reminding us that no matter our backgrounds, we're united by shared emotion and experience. Laughter creates belonging. It affirms that we're not so different after all. So how do we welcome more laughter into our lives? It starts with not taking ourselves so seriously. It means being open to the ridiculousness of life, finding comedy in our missteps, and learning to laugh at ourselves. That doesn't mean dismissing life's challenges, but balancing them. Joy and pain coexist. Both are part of being alive. We can actively cultivate joy by spending time with those who make us laugh, watching things that lift our mood, or simply learning to see humor in the everyday. In a world that constantly demands our attention and productivity, choosing to care for ourselves is a quiet act of rebellion, and a powerful one. Real self-care goes beyond bubble baths or indulgent moments. It's about committing to our physical, emotional, and mental well-being in a deliberate, consistent way. Stoicism reminds us that self-mastery begins with understanding what we can control. Taking care of ourselves isn't selfish, it's responsible. The Stoics saw the self as something valuable, worth maintaining, because only when we are strong and well can we truly serve others, live by our principles, and meet our obligations. Stoic self-care is about honoring the life we've been given and caring for the body and mind that carry us through it. Our ability to think clearly, act rightly, and feel deeply, all of it hinges on how we treat ourselves. This self-respect lays the groundwork for how we interact with the world. When we prioritize our health and peace, we're better prepared for life's trials. But it's not just about the physical. It's about tending to the mind and heart as well. Practicing mindfulness, reflecting on our values, and engaging in activities that nourish us spiritually and intellectually, that's the holistic path to wellness. And when we take care of ourselves, we impact others too. We become more grounded, more compassionate, more present in our relationships. We give more and we give better. That's the Stoic ideal. Serving the greater good starts with strengthening the self. So how do we live this out daily in a way that aligns with Stoic values? Through simple, intentional choices. Eating foods that nourish us, moving our bodies regularly, getting enough rest, making space for stillness and reflection, protecting our time and energy by setting boundaries, saying no when we must, choosing what aligns with our values and letting go of what doesn't. This brings us to another Stoic cornerstone: independence. In today's world, independence is often equated with total self-reliance or isolation. But real independence isn't about being alone. It's about having the strength and confidence to stand on your own. True strength, according to the Stoics, isn't just surviving without help. It's about thriving, living a life that reflects your values, making decisions that are truly your own. Stoic independence comes from inner freedom. It's about mastering your impulses, managing your emotions, and knowing that your peace doesn't depend on what others think or what happens outside of you. This kind of inner independence is deeply attractive. It reflects someone grounded, someone unshaken by public opinion or external praise. It's the quiet confidence to walk your own path, to embrace what makes you unique, and to live a life that is unapologetically yours. But this doesn't mean rejecting connection. Stoicism doesn't call for solitude. It honors meaningful relationships. The key is balance, finding companionship that supports your independence, not defines or limits it. To build this kind of independence, we must be self-aware. It means constantly revisiting our values, questioning our motivations. Are we chasing something because it's truly right for us, or because we feel pressured? It also means developing resilience, staying rooted in our principles, even when life gets hard. As we close this reflection on the Stoic art of silent attraction, remember, it's in those quiet, authentic moments where the strongest connections are made. It's through our calm, presence, our integrity, and our sincerity that we truly stand out. Thank you for walking this path with us at Stoic Sage Academy. Your curiosity, your attention, it's what makes this space so meaningful. If this message has inspired you, consider exploring one of the suggested videos on your screen. Keep going. Keep growing. Let Stoicism continue to guide your journey. And remember, in the silence of your actions, your life speaks the loudest.